Welcome to Unholy Hour, the place where true horror comes alive when the clock strikes dark. In today's episode, we uncover two chilling true stories that will haunt your thoughts long after you've finished watching. Prepare yourself. The Unholy Hour begins now.
Story 1. The Watcher. In 2014, a family in Westfield, New Jersey moved into their dream home, only to be haunted by eerie letters from a mysterious figure known only as the Watcher. This is a true story that has haunted a family for years, a tale of terror that began with a simple dream home, but ended in something far darker. They bought their dream house, 6 bedrooms, a peaceful street, a place to raise their children. But beneath perfect lawn, behind closed doors, someone was watching, and they would not stop. This is true story of Watcher. 657 Boulevard, Westfield, New Jersey, an affluent neighborhood where nothing bad ever happens. Until it did. It was June 2014 when Derek and Maria Broadus closed on house, their dream home. 3 days later, first letter arrived. It was handwritten. No return address. Only one word on envelope. New owner. Inside was letter. Polite at first, but then tone shifted. It was written in letter.
657 Boulevard has been subject of my family for decades now. As it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting.
It wasn't just strange. It was personal. Letter mentioned Broadus' children, their ages, their nicknames, ones only close friends or family would know. Letter continued.
Do you need to fill house with young blood? I requested. Once I know their names, I will call to them.
Derek called police. They shrugged. No crime had been committed. Just a creepy letter. Maybe a prank. But then, another letter came. This one, even more direct. It read,
I see you've already started renovating. Workers have been busy. I've been watching them from afar, and sometimes from very close.
Watcher knew their schedule. He knew which rooms they were changing. He even asked another chilling question from letter.
Have they found out what's in walls yet?
Broadduces stopped sleeping at house. They hired private detectives, installed cameras, even contacted former FBI agent. Still, nothing. But letters kept coming, each one more cryptic, more obsessed. One of them read,
It has been years and years since young blood ruled hallways of house. Have you found all secrets it holds?
Neighbors were questioned. No fingerprints, no suspects, just silence. Whoever Watcher was, they were invisible and relentless. Maria couldn't sleep. Derek began having panic attacks. They moved back in with family. House sat empty, watched. They tried to sell it. But once buyers heard about letters, they backed out. Eventually, in 2019, 5 years later, they sold it at a loss. But even after they were gone, Watcher was not. To this day, case remains unsolved. No one knows who Watcher was. A bitter neighbor, a prankster, a madman, or something worse. But if you ever receive a letter, no name, no return address, and it knows where you sleep, and it says something like,
You are being watched.
Don't look out the window. They might already be there. Story 2. The Bell Witch. In 1817, in Adams, Tennessee, the Bell family was terrorized by a malevolent spirit known as the Bell Witch, whose haunting presence still echoes through history.
Some spirits knock, some scream, but none spoke. She cursed, she beat, and she killed. This is the true story of the Bell Witch, America's most terrifying haunting. It was 1817 in Adams, Tennessee. A peaceful farm, a simple family. John Bell, a farmer, lived here with his wife Lucy and their children. Life was quiet until the knocking began. At first, the sounds were soft, just a light tap, like someone knocking at the door. But no one was there. As the days passed, the knocking grew louder, more frequent, and then came the whispers. At night, the Bell family would lie in bed, straining to hear the noises. Scratching sounds, footsteps in the dark, whispers that came from nowhere. Something was in their house, something unseen. But the torment didn't stop there. It only grew more sinister. And soon, it wasn't just noise that haunted them. It was violence. Betsy Bell, the youngest daughter, was the first to feel the full brunt of the spirit's wrath. She recalled in her terror years later. She said,
It pulled my hair, breathed on my face. I wasn't asleep. I couldn't move.
Betsy was thrown from her bed, scratched and slapped by unseen hands. But the worst part, she couldn't escape it. No matter where she went, it followed her, tormenting her every night. John Bell, desperate to find an explanation, turned to the Bible. He prayed. He searched for any logical reason. But the spirit seemed to mock him. It wasn't long before the spirit spoke. And when it did, it didn't just announce itself. It revealed its name. The Witcher said,
I am Kate Batts, and I have come for John Bell.
Kate Batts, a bitter neighbor who had been wronged by John Bell in a land deal. Some say she was a witch, others say she cursed the family. But what everyone could agree on was that her spirit wasn't just angry, it was furious. The witch's cruelty wasn't just physical. It began to mimic voices, eerily copying the sounds of family members. It would call out to Lucy, repeating her own voice, as if it were right beside her. And then it began to reveal secrets, quoting private conversations, even ones held miles away from the house. The physical torment continued, but something darker was at play. John Bell's health began to deteriorate rapidly. His hands trembled, his face grew pale, his body seemed to wither, as if the witch was feeding on his very life force. The witch's words grew darker as John's health failed. It wasn't just torment anymore. It was a sentence. The witcher voice echoed.
He is mine.
On December 20th, 1820, John Bell died. Some believed the witch had poisoned him. Others thought the curse had simply worn him down. But one thing was certain. His death wasn't the end. At his funeral, the witch's voice rang out across the graveyard. Her chilling laughter echoed through the trees, mocking the mourning family.
I did it. He is dead. And now I am free.
The Bell Witch's legend spread far and wide, and even President Andrew Jackson, curious and skeptical, decided to investigate. He rode to the Bell farm with his men, ready to witness the hauntings for himself. But after just one night, Jackson fled, leaving behind a chilling testimony.
I'd rather face an army than spend another night with the Bell Witch.
As time passed, the Bell Witch's story didn't fade into history. In fact, it only grew. Some say the witch promised to return in 1935. Others believe she never truly left. Visitors to the Bell Witch Cave have heard her voice in the wind, felt her touch in the dark. And the echoes of Betsy's words continue to haunt the land.
I heard her. She's still here.
The Bell Witch's story didn't end with John Bell. She remains a ghost, a force that torments, waits, and lingers, not just in the cave, but in the minds of those who hear her name. Some spirits never rest. They speak, they kill, and they never leave. Subscribe for more real horror stories, but be careful. Some things are best left undisturbed.